Good evening and welcome to Malvern, Pennsylvania for a beautiful fall edition of Friday Night Lights. My name is Zach Demuse alongside Luke Nichols, and we are just minutes away from kickoff from what's set to be a great game tonight live from Malvern Prep between two undefeated teams in the 3-0 Friars of Malvern Prep hosting the 4-0 Cahillites of Roman Catholic. Luke, as I mentioned, this is a very highly anticipated game for both sides. And we have to keep an eye on this Malvern Prep offense. It could be led by number 11, Jackson Malconian, the freshman, for just another game, back-to-back games. And last week they beat Imhotep 17-13. And Roman 4-0. They're a powerhouse as well coming in. Both teams preach fast and physical on offense. What are you looking for tonight specifically on this Malvern Prep offense?
I was going to say, this offense is looking really good tonight. Like you said, Malconian could be the starter yet again. Looking to see a lot from him. Falk, they move him around a lot. Chris Lake, their big wide receiver, one of the tallest guys on the team. But you mentioned they just beat Imhotep 17-13. I'm looking at this Malvern defense as well. 2 scores in that. You got McHugh, who had 10 sacks last year. Even Chris Lake, again, just a menace defensively. 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack last week. And Jake Bauer, you mentioned he's only 6 feet tall, but he had 10 tackles. So kind of that unofficial leader of that defense, guiding them to that win last week, hoping their offense can step up again this week.
Now looking at the Cahillites of Roman Catholic, their offense led by freshman Samaj Beals. And to put it simply, Luke, he's been unbelievable so far this season. 99 attempts, 59 completions. That's lead just below 60% completion percentage. He has 838 yards through the air, 8 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Alongside Tyseer Denmark, his wide receiver, 4 touchdowns, averaging over 100 yards per game through the air. You mentioned this Malvern Prep defense. They are going to be challenged by this 4-0 Cahillite offense coming in here to Malvern Prep.
Yeah, it may take them a second to get kind of used to seeing a freshman quarterback out there, especially with only 1 interception on the year. A freshman quarterback with 1 interception, that's unbelievable. That's not being talked about enough. That should be the only thing we're talking about right now. He's been sensational this year. Tyseer Denmark, one of their best playmakers, if not their best playmakers, and as well as Jameel Lyons, the Penn State commit, plays D-line, plays tight end. He's going to be all over the field as well on both sides of the ball.
And you hear the electricity in the crowd already this evening. Live from Malvern Prep, Zach Demuse, Luke Nichols with you here. Both teams averaging a lot of points on offense, Luke. You look at Roman Catholic through 4, averaging 36 points per game. And for the Malvern Prep offense, averaging 24 points per game. So, again, Malconian steps in for the injured Skylar Smith. We wait and see his availability in this game, but looking at the warm-ups, it looked like Malconian was getting a majority of the first-team snaps. So I really think it's going to come down to defense tonight, as you mentioned, Luke, specifically defense for Roman Catholic, the big men on that line. I was talking to defensive coach Brian Conroy on the way to the game, and he was saying Jason Patterson Jr., the senior on that line, 7.5 sacks through the season already, along with PSU 4-star commit Jameel Lyons, who has 25 tackles for the team, 3 sacks and 2 passes defended, another senior. So this D-line for for Roman looks to eat, as we see number 12 Lyons walking to half midfield, as you see there. And he's just so much taller than everybody else out there as well.
Yeah, it's very noticeable. Just looks like a menace even in the kind of pre-game handshake. Expecting a big game from him. 2 undefeated teams, no better time to step up.
Our common shared Catholic faith recommends that we pray before every important event.
Beautiful night. Friday Night Lights, as I mentioned, Malvern, the sun going down behind us.
And I'm looking down at the sideline of Malvern, and number 8, who we thought was going to be hurt and not be able to play, Skylar Smith, their quarterback, taking some pregame snaps, throwing a Falk. Seems like he's warming up. He could possibly be good to go. So we were expecting Malconian, but we're going to wait and see if it's either Smith or Malconian. But it looking like it's going to be Skylar Smith.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, looking at the numbers for Smith, he had 242 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns, but on the ground, the running game, he carried it 18 times just through 2 games. And 127 yards on the ground as well. So he really has that dual threat capability, and maybe to keep this Roman Catholic defense guessing, we might see a little bit of a tandem between those 2 quarterbacks.
I'm never one to support the tandem of quarterbacks. I feel like it throws each one kind of off their rhythm.
Yeah.
But if you have a
Argument
quarterback,
to be made, sure.
If you have a quarterback who can run like Smith can, I mean, why not throw him in there? Just that dual threat ability just scares the opposing defense no matter what.
Coin toss here at the 50-yard line. We'll wait and see. Head coach for Roman is Rick Preet. You take a look at what this program has been through over the past couple years. Last year, the 21-22 season, they went 4-7. And the year before that, in 20-21, they went 1-4, only 5 games played because of COVID. So really turned it around, 4-0 already this year. And then, of course, on the other side for Malvern Prep, the guy David Guerrera, who's been here and supported this program thick and thin. And they're always good, it seems like. Of course, they're coming off of the conference championship last year, 3-0 already this year. Dual quarterbacks coming in and out, and still we wait and see. So Malvern Prep will receive and start on offense. And we'll see, as we're talking about, Luke, who comes out to lead this offense. My guess, if you want my take, it's going to be Malconian. From all indication, it sounds like you're going Smith. So we'll see. We will see. And as the anthem is played, we will step aside for just 1 minute. Keys to the game and kickoff on the other side. Stick with us here at Malvern Prep. Just minutes before kickoff here. Luke, I'll throw it to you quickly. 2 keys to the game, 1 for each team. What do you got for us?
I think my key to the game for Roman has to be get Beals going early and comfortable. He's a freshman. He's very confident as a freshman quarterback, but sometimes can get rattled under these big lights against Malvern Prep. Start off with some short throws, quick slants, screens. Just kind of get him in a rhythm, get him going. That'll overthrow his confidence and just really open up that offense. As for Malvern, I want to see their offense come out strong, but that defense still needs to play tight. I think you go with your gut, stick to your guns, have that stifling defense. Those 3 guys we talked about earlier, McHugh, Lake, and Bauer, just have them be locked down. I think starting off on offense is a good resting, kind of get your defense ready. Then offense gets some points. Defense comes out there, gets a quick 3 and out. That game could be completely different after that defense is on the field, excuse me.
And for myself, my keys to the game for Malvern Prep, I think their defense has to stand strong to slow Roman. Many, many weapons on that offensive side for Roman, including their quarterback, and allow Malconian to settle in. I think allowing Roman for defensively for Malvern Prep to, maybe force a couple punts for Roman early on, allow Malconian to settle into the game, not get too rattled, think he has to play from behind. I think that will do a lot. For Roman, flipping the script here, keeping the starting quarterback for Malvern guessing. We're talking about it. Roman's defense plays that base 4-2, but we'll go to a 5-man front if needed. Many different looks, and keep the versatility of number 15, Jordan Montgomery, guessing. Kickoff here. Look at this. Quickly, Christopher Smith on the road, 30, 25, 20, down to the 15, and tackled inside the 10-yard line. Look at this start from Malvern Prep. And that will help a freshman quarterback. We'll see who it is, but what a start for the special teams of Malvern.
Yeah, you really can't ask for a better start than that. Already right around your 10-yard line, inside the 10-yard line it seems, but a great effort not to let that opening kickoff get returned for a touchdown. You at least get a stop, so you have a chance to kind of goal line stand here, but just a great return.
Ball officially placed on the 13-yard line. Chris Smith caught it inside his zone 20, ran it back out all the way to the 13, and it's number 9, McGuire, under center for the moment. Or excuse me, that is number 8, Skylar Smith, number 8 there with the jersey tucked in, hard to tell. But the first play of the game is a pitch to Nash. He goes to the left side, can't find much there, and the strong defense from Roman coming up.
And look who was in that tackle. Lyons already making a name for himself in this game, getting a tackle for a loss. Give him half a credit for that one, but still already getting involved. And after the big kickoff, to start losing yards on your very first play of offense, not the best sign.
Yeah, so that is Skylar Smith. His jersey is tucked up, as you see there, and Nash, of course, behind him. You'll see this look often, and of course Smith also with the threat to run, but this time does go to Nash. Up the middle he goes, fumbles the football, it looks like, and the pile ensues. And it is Roman Catholic football. It's Roman football. Again, that D-line loves to punch that ball out. Nash, you don't see it often. He gives it up. Roman takes over and makes up for the mistake on special teams to start the game.
That is truly unbelievable. I mean, Malvern was showing run the entire time. You had 2 tight ends on either side, not shying away from it, but just what a comeback by Roman, giving up the big return, and in 2 plays you're already on offense. Yeah, you're inside your own 20. That's not a good sign, but you didn't give up a touchdown. That is just what a start for that defense.
And you mentioned it earlier, you know, the hustle of Roman to just get back and give their defense a chance. Well, they gave him a chance, and they got the ball back for him. So now this high-powered offense of Roman, led by freshman Samaj Beals, wearing number 10. Of course, he's got receivers, as we mentioned. Tyseer Denmark, the junior, has 4 touchdowns, averaging over 100 yards per game through the air. Running back, it's a duo between Jameer Robertson, number 3, and number 1, Howell. Robertson with 463 yards on the ground. Howell on the other side, 293. 11 touchdowns between them there, Luke. So they do like to run the football, keep the defense guessing here, and looks like we have a little bit of a delay.
Looks like something with the chains on the far side of the field, maybe something stuck. But as for Robertson and Howell, the 2 running backs, it kind of seems like they're going to go whichever has the hot hand. If one breaks off a big run, you keep them in for that drive. Maybe if one gets tackled for loss, loses a fumble, he loses some reps. But because they're both just so great, you really can't keep them off of the field in a sense. So if one guy gets more tired than the other, it's really good just to fall back on that other guy. If you watched Thursday Night Football last night, it's almost like a Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb situation. You're confident in both of them, and you just want to give them all the reps possible.
Some guys to keep a look on, obviously talking about Denmark and Robertson and Beals, of course, but on that O-line, number 68, Austin Ramsey, commit to Kentucky. You see him there. Looks like he's lined up on the left tackle position. And here's the first play of offense for Roman. It's an RPO over to Denmark on the outside. He's looking to break some tackles. 30, 35, tackled up right before the 40. It looks like they'll mark him down on the 39, and a beautiful opening play from Roman. Give it to your hand. Get it into the hands of your playmakers.
Exactly what I was talking about. Get Beals going. That quick screen goes for about 20 yards, so just a fantastic start, and they're in the hurry-up.
Same play. This time it's to the near side, and being tackled down behind the line of scrimmage is Trey Woodley. Good tackle there from Malvern Prep.
Looked like Lions didn't know who to block there. That guy kind of came right up and made the tackle. Looked like he lost some yards there. They're not setting the marker up yet. Loss of 4.
Yep, loss of 4 announced over the PA system. That was number 35, Ennis Udo. You'll see him, big threat on Malvern offense, coming up with the tackle for loss. It's a handoff here to Howell running right side, and good tackle put on there by McGuire. Penalty marker is down.
This one may be coming back. That's kind of the usual call is the holding. Let's see. And it is a holding penalty. But you see, from this Roman offense, they have those 3 wide receivers out wherever they have more space on the field. So this time they were on the right hash. They got the 3 bunched up on the left side. And Malvern, it took them 2-3 plays, but they finally moved that outside linebacker over there. It seems like Roman's going to run a lot of that RPO style, where if you move an outside linebacker over there, you hand it off maybe a quarterback keeper. But if they have the 2 receivers covering the 3 wide receivers like they did in the very first play where they got the 20 yards, it's going to be a bubble screen almost every single time, it seems.
Trying to do quick math to see what it is here. At least 5, 10, 15, almost like 2nd and 18 here. Long way to go, but it goes to the outside to Hal. And he steps out of bounds for a minimal gain, and it brings up a long 3rd down for the Cahillites.
Yeah, 2nd down there. I guess you're trying to get it to your playmakers and just gain some yards, make it an easier 3rd down. Unlucky that he steps out of bounds, just didn't have the awareness to realize he was that close to the sideline. Simple mistake. But this 3rd and 20, I mean, I'm not sure if you try anything too risky. You get the turnover, which is great. You want to get points, but you don't want to hand it right back. Maybe another screen to Denmark. Maybe he can get that 20-yard burst again, but I wouldn't try anything too crazy.
3rd and 20. Beals evading pressure. Looks like he'll carry it and get tackled. Loses the football, and Malvern will take it back. Looks like at the 32-yard line. Hayden Pegg, number 19, he had the pick 6 last week and picks up a fumble here to put his offense inside their own 35.
Looks like Beals really wasn't sure what to do with the ball there. Scrambled, could have just ran out of bounds and got a few yards, some extra yards for your punter there, but instead just looks like he was trying to slide, a bit indecisive, as I said. Loses the ball pretty clearly, knee not down, no body part really down, and only Malvern jerseys around that ball. But that's what I mean. Don't try anything crazy. You just go out of bounds, punt the ball away. They're most likely on the other side of their field now, back on your own 30.
Smith still in there, handoff to Nash, another tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's Patterson Jr., the senior, 7.5 sacks on the season coming up, the big D lineman, and another tackle for loss.
Yeah, got back there really untouched. And if you're Malvern, you see Roman, looks like they're in a 5-down front. You can't allow anybody back there that quick.
Second and 11, it's an RPO. Almost picked off there at the middle of the field. Smith was trying to drop it into Falkenstein, number 5, but good defense there and positioning by the linebackers of Roman to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, you can't predetermine your throws. That one was predetermined the entire way, was just waiting for Falk to get in the spot that he liked, but the linebackers just read that so cleanly. The corner even was still on him, so no linebacker there. The corner had pretty decent coverage. Would have been a tight throw and a tough throw overall, and clearly now with a 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11. Smith drops back, looks to pass out of bounds, again in the direction of Falkenstein, and it brings up 4th down. An early 4th down and a decision to be made here by the Friars.
It looks like Smith is staying out there. It looks like they're going to try and go for it. You're kind of in no man's land, a little far for your kicker. He was drilling 40-yarders in the warm-ups, I will say, so I wouldn't have been surprised if they went with him. But a bit too close for a punt. You might as well try for something deep.
Well, it is 4th down. Smith looks deep across the middle of the field and overthrows Falkenstein again. All 3 throws towards number 5. And a good stand defensively from Roman. Turnover on downs, and their defense bails them out after the fumble yet again.
I was going to say, this defense is really doing a great job of bailing out the special teams and the offense of Roman, both lacking so far, but this defense not lacking whatsoever, not allowing any yards yet, I believe, for this Malvern offense. And that time, the throw by Smith, the quarterback, just put it in a spot where either Falk could get it or nobody could get it. Smart decision. Don't get that unnecessary turnover.
Beals back out there, handoff. There's Robertson cutting. And a good tackle put on there by McHugh, taken down. Looks like right at the line of scrimmage. Under 8:20 here in the first quarter.
Robertson had a pretty solid hole there, just closed up quick by McHugh. Way to just read that and bring down that running back, only a gain of 1.
RPO, you can see there, Beals pulling it out of his hand and getting it over to Denmark, that far side of the field. You see him there, number 5 in white. And it brings up a manageable 3rd down for the Cahillites now.
Yeah, you had the 2 outside receivers have to double number 19, Hayden Pegg. That kind of left that cornerback of Malvern one-on-one with Denmark and succeeds against an open field tackle. Very good form open field tackle.
Third and 4 now for Roman. Beals in the shotgun, hands it off, and looked to be short of the first down line is Robertson, and it will be 4th and short. We'll see what Roman decides to do. All indications looks like it's a hurry-up offense here on 4th down.
4th and 1. Let's make some noise for Ayers.
Roman slowing down a bit here. Coach is barking out orders on the far sideline.
Looks inside, connects with Denmark for the first down.
Just an absolutely beautiful read by Samaje Beals. I'm starting to doubt that he's a freshman back there. That was some veteran stuff. Looks off Hayden Pegg, I believe it was, and just fires a strike right into Denmark for the first down.
It looked like he had 2 options. He had number 2, Woodley, if he wanted to throw almost a bubble screen out to the outside or wait to see if Denmark opened up. That's exactly what it did. And look at this. Robertson again picking up positive yardage and looks to be down right at the 36-yard line. And another first down from Roman. Their offense is moving here in the second half of the first quarter.
It was a good shoestring tackle by Cameron Paquette there. Otherwise, Robertson might have scored by now.
Outside, Denmark evading one tackle. Another there. He has blockers in front of him. First down and just a little bit more, man. Tyseer Denmark, unbelievable so far early on, as advertised, Luke.
Sometimes you can do everything right and still get burned. That's what happened to that Malvern defense there. Just some unbelievable shiftiness from Denmark.
And quickly, the snap is off. Back to Robertson up the middle. Minimal gain, but still positive yardage. Again, that O-line led by Austin Ramsey, number 68.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Sean Zakreski, number 61, the center in there as well. Switching on and off with Santonio DeSimone for that center position as well. So 5:45 to go, here in the first quarter. The second down and long for Roman, outside to Robertson. Another broken tackle, but Bobby Mears coming up, number 4, to make the tackle. Minimal gain, 3rd down.
Yeah, sometimes with that RPO offense, when you throw those screens, you're going to get burned and not get any big gains, maybe lose a yard or 2, but I'm really still liking these short throws, and we've seen more often than not they get the big gains as opposed to the tackles for loss right there. 3rd and 9 here.
Ball looks to be on the 29-yard line. Delayed handoff to Robertson, spinning to the left and trying to pick up more yards. Only looks like about a gain of 2, so it brings up 4th down.
That feels like we're going for it on 4th down no matter what. Let's just try and make it more manageable.
Sure.
And it looks like I am correct, so that's nice.
4th and 7. Bobby Mears again in on the tackle.
Only 3 down linemen, it seems, for the Prep.
Beals pulls it back, tries to get it to the outside and overthrows Robertson. Another 4th down stand for this Malvern Prep defense, and still scoreless with under 4:30 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, Beals didn't have much there. Might have had number 2 Trey Woodley kind of streaking towards the end zone on the right side of the field, but smart decision there. You throw something underneath. We could have had a Malvern defender running the other way, taking it for 6. Although they get stopped yet again, I'm really liking this Roman Catholic offense. It feels like the modern-day wing T offense, where you go hurry up and it's RPOs. You don't really get out of that formation, and so far it's it's working pretty well outside of the turnover, or the 2 turnovers, I should say.
Looks like they like to be versatile in their looks, showing the defense a lot of different things. As you saw, delayed handoffs and a lot of RPOs so far. Meanwhile, Smith fires it downfield into a pile of players, and Falkenstein able to bring it down right at the 45-yard line. What a grab there by number 5.
And what a throw by Smith. Off his back foot, it seemed, was almost getting swallowed up by the offense and defensive line. You see the ball release from his hand, and Falk just jumps up out of nowhere and looked like he even mossed his own teammate.
I mean, Falkenstein was not open in any stretch of the imagination, but that just shows the trust that Smith has with his receivers. And this time it is to Nash on the outside. Trusting and following his lineman there, picking up what looks to be 3 yards.
Was their first big play given up by that Roman Catholic defense. Yeah. And Falk, I believe, his 3rd target already for his first reception. So you get 3 targets, not even through the entire first quarter. We're going to see a lot more of Ryan Falkenstein.
Yeah, it seems like every time that Smith has dropped back to pass, he's always looked in the direction of number 5. And it's Udo, P.J. Holmes, the tight end. Again, look at this. Ball's on the ground. And they're going to say down by contact. Down by contact, the call.
Wow. I mean, Malvern got away with one right there. Smith kind of tripping on the turf monster. Can't get the handoff cleanly to his running back, and ball bounces out. I couldn't make out who fell on it, but I'm assuming it was a Malvern player because, wow, they really just got lucky there.
Yeah, again, the call was down by contact, so at some point the Malvern Prep Friar had to have had possession long enough for for the referee to deem he was down. So brings up 3rd and 10 now. Smith will hand up, and up the middle is Nash, picking up the first down and more, catching the defense off guard, running it right up the gut and picking up a first down.
I love the running from Nash there, just hitting the hole, didn't try to do anything fancy, had 2 hands on the ball for about 5-6 yards there, did not want to fumble again, and almost trucks through the safety for a few extra yards. This Malvern offense finally getting in a groove now. Looks like they're going to try and go back maybe under center. They have
slowing things down a little bit, yep. 2:05 and ticking here. Now officially under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Nash again on the inside. And there's another gain of about 6. And, Luke, it looks like so far when Nash is running and attempting to go outside, he's not picking up as much as he is now running directly right up the middle. And that's surprising. This Roman front is known to be a strength.
Yeah, Nash is just starting to trust his blockers again. I maybe forgot about it during the week, but you had big number 75, I believe it is Kevin Miller, pulling there on the counter, creating a nice hole for him. And you don't get a 10-yard gain, but you'll take about 5-6 yards every single time.
Smith was under center. He backs up in the shotgun now, and stoppage here. Timeout, Malvern Prep.
Yeah, but like you were saying with Nash on those runs, almost any coach will tell you, unless you have an all running back, you want them going north and south. The east and west hardly ever works because you're just wasting all your energy going towards the sideline. Someone could shut off a block, kind of get a quick tackle for loss on you. At least if you're going straight, you fall forward for some yards. You just have more momentum going forward. That's what every coach wants. Don't yell a running back's ears off, even a quarterback's ears off. Just run forward, fall forward, just fight for those yards. You don't have to break everything into a big run.
So clock is stopped with 1 minute and 21 seconds here in the first quarter. Alongside Luke Nichols, my name is Zach Demuse. Thank you so much for joining us here. Live from Malvern Prep High School. Beautiful night for football. Clock tower in the back.
Feels like the first real football day we've had this year.
It does. A little chilly up here. Had to zip up the jackets a little bit.
Just smells like football.
Smith will keep it, pick up the first down and more inside the 30-yard line.
For the first down, tackle made by number 8.
I think that's the first time we've seen Skylar Smith run, and my goodness, he's got that acceleration, that quick feet. He really just blew right through that hole and picked up that first down.
Coming into the game, Smith had 127 yards on the ground. So again, I remember last week speaking to the Imhotep head coach. They were actually practicing with a running back in there, just running all around, specifically in the backfield, just to give that look of what Skylar Smith can bring, as Nash will take it again up the middle.
Tackle made by number 58.
Don't think we've seen a pass since that big gainer from the really mossing catch by Falkenstein. I guess Malvern just getting into the running offense, and it's working. I mean, they picked up about 3 yards there. A lot of big-time runs from Nash and Smith. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But this Roman Catholic defense could get hurt with a quick play-action pass over the top soon.
Ton of RPOs for both this offense.
Oh, yes.
On both sides, I should say. There's another one, but this time instead of a pass, Smith will take it himself.
Close to the first down line.
And looks like the indication is he got past the line to gain, so it is another first down inside the 20. This is officially the red zone here as the seconds tick off for the end of the first quarter. No score on the board, both defenses standing tall. Malvern Prep inside their Roman Catholic 20 in the red zone when we return. Welcome back into Malvern Prep. Side switch, so now the Friars will go from left to right inside the 20. Flings it downfield, underthrown. Again trying to look for number 5, Ryan Falkenstein, incomplete.
Yeah, Falk already seems like that security blanket for Skylar.
Smith this time will be in the shotgun, Nash behind him. Gives it to Nash up the middle.
Behind his offensive line.
Yardage to go, why not go for it?
Sean McGuire on the tackle, 4th and 2. Handoff to Howe, and he doesn't get it. Looks like he loses a yard. And another turnover on downs. This Roman offense still sputtering early in this first half. And with the 3-0 lead, the Malvern Prep offense will head back onto the field.
It was not a fan of that play call there for Roman. Pretty much the same thing you did on third down. Even on third down, I thought you try and go something a little different, maybe a pass. But right there, it just felt like it took too long for Beals to make that read and give it to Howe. And by the time he gave it to Howe and he could get to the line of scrimmage, somebody already kind of got off their block and got the tackle. You got to be decisive on that option. Either take it or give it, let him or let you work, or just to make it easier, try and throw the ball. It's only short yardage. If you have nothing, Beals can run pretty well, try and scramble for that first down.
Nash in the carry up the middle.
Tackle made by number 12, Lyons.
They're giving the tackle to Jameel Lyons there again. Talking to that defensive coach for Roma before the game, he said that number 15 and number 12 just stand out on the field. Everybody else?
2nd and 7.
Just men amongst boys sometimes, they seem.
So it brings up 2nd and 7, 3-yard gain. This time Smith will take it himself.
Skylar.
Just past midfield, it looks like. Short of the first down, but a good pickup there by Skylar Smith.
Looks like we have a player down right around midfield as well for Roman. Was flying in, trying to make the tackle. Might have just, I don't think he made contact with anybody really and kind of flew right over. It is Hopkins who is down. Deshaun Hopkins is down on the field. Looks like some kind of leg injury.
12 tackles so far in the year, and Hopkins gets back up and walks off on his own power. Always good to see. 7:31 on the clock here.
Yeah, jogging off under his own power now, so most likely we'll see him back in the game shortly. But a great kind of take again from Smith. Looked like it was almost a broken play, and everything was collapsing in on him. He just finds a hole and bursts right out of it. Gets a solid gain. So really impressed so far what I'm seeing of Skylar Smith, especially after you said he was questionable to
play. They got the results back that his hand was not broken. That was the concern after last game, and they said if he feels good enough to start, he will. And on a 3rd and short, there he is, handing off to Nash, but being wrapped up, and it brings up a 4th down for the Friars.
This is a much trickier 4th down situation. Looks like they're going to punt the ball. I could even see the coach talking to one of his assistants, standing there thinking, send the punt group out there. Just a little too far from where you want to be. They're on your own side of the field. I think it's a smart call here. Yeah, it's only 4th and short, about 4th and 3, but with especially that tackle there and how stout this Roman defense has been, it feels like the correct call in my eyes.
Roman calls their first timeout. And again, we talked about Roman's offense has been sputtering so far in this first half. Why give them a short field if you can try to pin them back there? And both teams practicing punts earlier and getting them as close to the 20 or even inside the 20 if they can. But nonetheless, even if they were to get the 4th down, I think the threat of not getting it, outweighs the positives right here for Malvern. So I agree with the call to punt.
Especially after that tackle from Montgomery. I mean, he just grabbed Nash by the shoulder pads and threw him backwards. It was a beautiful tackle. So.
And again, Roman in that base 4-2, but they will jump to that 50 look with 5 guys at the line when need be, and it looked like. 15, Jordan Montgomery was that additional lineman added, and we will have a punt.
My goodness.
Denmark back there for Roman and bouncing into the end zone. So a touchback will be called, and Roman's offense will take the field.
That was almost too good of a punt. I mean, that was an absolute bomb. Really just hung in the air. He had all the time in the world back there. Zero pressure by Roman. Almost going to try to take it for a 1st down if he pleased. But, I mean, just the ball was a perfect spiral.
Do you think that crosses his mind at all?
I would really hope it does. I think it was a quick glimmer. Can I take this myself? Yeah. No, my coach will kill me. Punt. Yeah. I mean, but it was a beautiful punt. Just couldn't get it to stay inside the 20. But Roman's got to be careful on that punt defense there, because he really could have had a chance to take it. He was running for a good few minutes back there.
Something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, under 7 minutes to go in this opening quarter. This throw is picked. Picked by Pellicciota inside what looks like the 2. Pellicciota, number 15, puts his offense back on the field in the red zone after looks like they spot him at the 3. Extra lineman brought in on that right side. Direct snap to Nash. He's into the end zone. Didn't have to fight through many there, and Nash for the Friars.
They weren't messing around. Get right into the Wildcat with Nash. Let your best back just take the ball himself, run in. Was untouched running in from the 3-yard line. As a field goal is good, but I mean, I like the idea of going in the Wildcat. You don't waste time. Don't even waste just that extra second handing the ball off. Just get it right to Nash and let him run. A great idea, great play call, and just even what a return as well on that interception. Looked like he broke a few tackles, really just took that coaching to heart where you get an interception, go straight to the sideline, just try and work up that sideline, and really just sets up his offense very nicely. What's that saying? The best defense or the best offense is a good defense?
There you go.
Never more true right there.
So another kickoff again. Opening the game, Malvern received, and they had a great kickoff to bring it back inside the 20 of Roman. Here's an opportunity for Roman if they can field the kickoff here, a returnable kickoff. We'll see.
I was going to say, if it stays inside the field.
A little windy up here, but down on the field, flags aren't blowing, but they will let this one head into the end zone for a touchback.
It doesn't matter, wind or no wind, that ball is sailing out of the back of the end zone. Just an absolute boot on their kicker for Malvern Prep. Ball off first and second down, or just a short screen to Denmark. Because right now, Beals as a freshman, like I said, one interception doesn't feel freshman-esque, and the way he's running the offense feels like a veteran, but might be getting in his head a little bit throwing.
11, and it sets up a timeout by Rick Preet and that Roman Catholic offense, their second of the half. Want to get on the same page because it's a long third down, and you know they will get the ball back after halftime.
Yes.
Malvern started with it, so in the back of your head you could be thinking trying to go for a 2-for-1 opportunity, put points up here, and then come back and double dip after halftime. It is a two-score game. It's 10-0, so that's definitely something in the back of the head coach's mind. I mean, this Roman Catholic offense hasn't struggled through 4. Of course, they're undefeated, averaging 36 points per game, 210 yards passing, and 186 yards rushing on average per game, close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, you would love to.
Close to 400 yards, excuse me.
Oh, good. But like you said, you would love to kind of just milk that clock down to a few seconds, then get a touchdown, go into halftime, score again. But you don't have any points on the board yet. You might as well don't even think about that. Just run your offense. If you get a big play and score with a minute 50 left, no worries. You still get at least points.
Third down and a long 9. Beals alone back there, evading pressure, unable to get out of the grips of Colin McHugh. 10 sacks last year, and he adds another one tonight. And it brings up a long fourth down and a Malvern Prep timeout. They want the ball.
For McHugh, it looked like Beals had maybe a guy or two open over the middle. Could have been a really nice first down. I believe it was Richard Mosley who was kind of streaking over the middle right by that 50-yard line. Could have taken one for a decent chunk of yardage, but just what a play by McHugh and the rest of that defensive line, getting that really solid pressure when they needed it most. I don't think I would count the fumbled snap as a sack. I believe I'm counting that as their first sack of the game and just a massive spot.
Yeah, again, Colin McHugh right off the outside. You know, we talked about Roman and, of course, what they're supposed to be averaging, 36 points per game. And, you know, that's mainly because of this Malvern Prep defense. And coming into tonight, their opponents are averaging 5.3 points per game. Their first 2 games, they allowed their opponents to score 3 total points in 2 games. So their defense has been fantastic, and it's really provided an issue for Roman. We'll see how they can adjust. And again, let's see what they do here. As Denmark is back this time, he will drop the kick and boot it. Inside the 40, down to about the 36, and that's where Malvern Prep offense will start.
A very friendly bounce for Denmark. And, hey, I guess he is the legitimate punter for Roman Catholic. So, like I said, just what an athlete this kid is. He's making people miss on some bubble screens and taking the ball out of the backfield. He's even punting the ball. I compared him to Debo Samuel, but, hey, maybe I'll give him the edge over Debo. I haven't seen Debo line up as the punter yet. So Denmark has that on him for now.
I will say he was the one doing it pregame. So, but 11 seconds ticked off, so they start with 2:19 on the clock, and this time Smith will keep it and just dive back to the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe half a yard, brings up a long second down.
Tackle made by number 58.
The tackle was made, they're saying Samir Thompson, but he was slow to get up after the tackle too. Hoping he's all right. Doesn't come out of the game, but just took an extra second to get back up.
Under 2 minutes. Yep, and we get a false start. It was obvious on the outside. Number 23, Smith Johnson, with movement.
Just a bit too excited. But really what feels like one of their first or second penalties of this entire half for the Prep. A really clean half of football for them. So when you're up 10-0, minute 40 left, it's not going to kill you. 5 yards isn't going to kill you, especially how this offense has been working. You can go to so many things and pick up those 15 yards just so easily. Obviously, you don't want it, but 5 yards you can manage.
And the last thing they'd want to do is have a turnover here because, again, they're deep in their own territory. Roman gets the ball back after half. So they'll keep it on the ground to Nash. And look out, he fumbles the football, but out of bounds. That's Dear Nash has lost the grip of the ball. Blame, but you just see he motioned almost an uppercut punch, and that's what jarred it loose. Good play by Roman's defense.
Yeah, defensive back number 6, Michael Preston was right there. That ball takes any different bounce than one going out of bounds. He's scooping that up and scoring for 6 the other way. So very lucky for the Prep. That one just rolls out of bounds.
3rd and about 15, 1:19 on the clock. Another handoff to Nash. Up the middle he goes. And a timeout by Roman.
And that felt like we're just going to run the ball, try and choose some clock here, make them burn a timeout, just pin them back in their own territory. Don't give up anything ridiculous closing the half.
Yeah, at a certain point your mindset might flip to trying to pin them deeper down just by picking up minimal yardage. So Jack Plaze will come out and punt.
Beauty of a punt the last time he was out. Just rolled in to the back of the end zone, right around the same area, maybe about 7 yards back from where they were the last punt. So I wouldn't doubt if he kind of maybe puts a little less on it, lets it roll, and they can pin Roman back inside their own 10. And at that point, you might as well almost just get an inside zone, then a knee, and take it to halftime.
Tyseer Denmark back again, man. He can punt, and he's gone in here to receive, and penalty flag comes in. We'll see what that's about, but that punt landed at about the 48. So it will be a penalty on Roman. Brings up a 4th and short. But it looks like Plaze will stay out there to punt. No change of decision here by Malvern. Look out, it's a high snap. And Plaze has to get back first. He's got to pick it up. And he'll never get it off, and the ball will be spotted back at the 15-yard line.
Roman Catholic takes over 1st and 10.
And this is the opportunity for Roman they were looking for. 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock before halftime.
Absolutely killer for the Prep. Your punter's got a boot on him. He could have sent that one back towards the end zone. You could have pinned them at their own 15. Now they're at your 15. And with 1:06 left, this is just the best chance they've had all night to come away with some points. A fresh 1st and 10. Oh, man, just what a killer. That's the last thing you wanted. On a 4th and 1, I was thinking maybe you even try quarterback sneak. But, hey, I mean, they went for the punt and didn't work out in their favor.
Beals looking far side. He's got his man there. That's Watson.
Great timing there from Beals, noticing the cut, throwing that ball as soon as his receiver, Watson, cuts and just gets right out of bounds to stop the clock as well.
Roman has 1 timeout. It's 2nd and 1 with 1 minute left.
Could be a bubble screen to Denmark here. Only got 2 DBs over there.
He looks his way, but he actually throws to Howe, fighting for the corner, and a good tackle put on there. Cameron Paquette, number 2, and number 19, Hayden Pegg, beating Howe to the outside and brings up a 1st down. His 1st and goal. He got the yardage, didn't get to the end zone.
A really good play recognition. Like I said, you only had 2 DBs on that short side. It's a really good job getting out there and just forcing Hal out of bounds, who also lost the shoe, so had to come out of the game.
Beals, handoff, and met in the backfield there is Robertson.
Tackle made by number 71,
Yeah, Philip Tabasso, number 71. The 6'2 junior tackle behind the line of scrimmage. 35 seconds and counting. Again, Roman, from our count, still has one timeout remaining. The penalty marker is thrown. Beal throws to the outside, and Hayden Pegg got a hand on it, never even made it close to his defender, but there is a penalty marker down.
There is a flag on the play.
Took just about 10 seconds when the line was set to get that play off. Really ran a lot of time down. You don't want that. There's no gimme touchdowns here. Let's see what the call is.
Illegal shift.
Wow.
Yep, it's an illegal shift on the offense. Backs Roman up. Loss of 5, so it brings up 2nd and goal from, looks like, the 8-yard line. 17 seconds on the clock.
Just some unbelievable mistakes by this Roman team at just the worst possible times.
Howe in the backfield next to Beals. Samaj over the middle, and a pass is thrown, but the ref gets right in the middle. And a penalty marker is thrown.
If I had to guess, I'm thinking
But Jameel Lyons, yeah, that was number 12. He normally doesn't come in and plays a little bit of tight end, and they wanted him on a tight end slant there. And it will be pass interference on the defense is the call. But Lyons was coming on the slant and ran right into the referee.
I thought the defender for Prep, I was thinking he got there a little early. It was close to call. I'm a bit surprised they got the call there. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. They're moving up now, so a lucky break now for Roman. But you don't often see the ref kind of get entangled with a play like that.
Yep, 2nd and goal. Six seconds taken off the clock, so 11 seconds remaining.
Let's make some noise for Irons. Timeout,
And Malvern Prep calls timeout.
Yeah, this Roman offense, I mean, they're just, again, just not really in a groove. Malvern messing up that punt was almost one of their best offensive plays, if we can count it. And even since then, you get a penalty, you move back, you get a defensive penalty where it looked like it was going to Lyons the entire time. DB just got there a bit too early. And just a great job by this Prep defense, though, to really just hold them back from the goal line. They got the ball with about a minute left inside the 10-yard line. Now they're inside the 5, right around the 4, 11 seconds left, 2nd down. So I'm expecting they're going to throw the ball if it's not perfect.
Again, they have that one timeout,
yes.
So
maybe you do see a run.
Maybe you see one run, see how, again, do you give it to Robertson or Howe?
You just got to tell your running back, whoever it is, get down quick. If you're trying to fight it for extra yards, don't. Just get down.
Follow your blockers, get down, and call a quick timeout. We'll see. It is Howe behind Beals. They're going to pass. Throw into the end zone, through the hands. Through the hands of Lyons and incomplete, brings up 3rd down, 6 seconds on the clock.
Man, Beals under a lot of pressure there. Someone was just screaming off that far side edge for the Prep and put a pretty good ball onto Lyons, just couldn't bring it in. Only his 2nd or 3rd snap, it seemed, on offense, so maybe just not used to it, but a big opportunity there. Could have avoided this 3rd and goal with 6 seconds left.
3rd and goal. Beals looks quickly, fade to the outside, incomplete, but a flag thrown. A flag thrown intended for Denmark on the outside. The clock does expire. We'll see if they get another play out of it because of the flag.
Gotta say, whoever's running the clock here, they kept the finger on that running clock a bit too long. That didn't feel like 6 seconds in my mind.
So we will have pass interference on the defense. Sets up first down. But again, there are zeros on the clock. Zeros on the clock, so this is it. If Roman wants to cut into this 2-possession lead before half, again, they get it back after half. This is it. Beals under pressure, fires to the corner, incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Watson, and that brings us to halftime. Your score, Malvern 10, Roman 0, as Beals unable to connect with his receiver there. And the defense stands strong for Malvern.
What pressure from the Prep defense. I mean, that just entire goal line stand sequence for 4 or 5 plays in a row, even including some penalties. Just the pressure was unbelievable from a few guys. McHugh, Bauer in there a few times, and on that very last play, just about everybody under defense applying pressure. Beals does a good job to get away, tries to get a good ball, but on the run about 15 yards back, very tough and some pretty solid coverage, but just one of the best defensive sequences of the year for the Prep.
Luke and I will step aside again. Both these teams with zeros in the loss column. Both teams trying to stay undefeated, and when we return, Roman will receive the second half kickoff. And we have 24 more minutes of football for all of you listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in live from Malvern Prep High School. It's halftime. We'll see you in just about 15 minutes. Second half of action here at Malvern Prep High School, just minutes away as both teams finish up their warm-ups and stretches here. Luke Nichols alongside. My name is Zach Demuse. Welcome back to Malvern Prep High School. Fantastic first half of football for both sides. Of course, you look at the scoreboard, it's 10-0 Malvern, but it's been close. And only one touchdown in this game thanks to a interception on the side of Roman, set up a inside the 5 for Malvern, who ran it right in for the only touchdown of the game. Other than that, both teams have been even keel. Luke, what have you seen in the first half, and what are some of your keys to the game for the second half of action?
I mean, I've just seen this Malvern defense has been phenomenal. And just getting right into my keys for the game, just if this Malvern defense is on the field, usually you want your defense off the field, keeping them fresh. Only good things have happened while they're on the field. Haven't allowed a single point, just an unbelievable goal line stand to end the half. But if you're Roman Catholic, that goal line stand may be the turning point of this game. You get 7 there, only down by 3. You're starting with the ball in this half. This Roman Catholic offense needs to be more consistent. Get in that rhythm. You've gotten in a rhythm, then you get a killer penalty, or you get tackled for a loss, or you fumble. There's always something that is happening with this offense that just takes them back a few steps. Just keep that consistency going, mix in the run and pass. You just need a more, just a better offense overall. Got to get some points.
If you're Roman Catholic, in that situation, do you even consider a field goal?
I don't think so, no.
No? You go for touchdown whole time?
I think you get that close. You get that close because of the muffed punt where it just sailed over the head of the punter of Malvern Prep. So you get that close, you got to come away. You're inside your own 10. I think you got to get at least 6. Maybe you go for 2 and you miss it there.
Sure.
At least get 6 in my mind. I don't disagree with the call at all. Just going straight for the end zone. It just hurts.
It's one of those things where in the moment I completely agree. Touchdown was probably what to go for. But again, after halftime, 15 minutes, you soak it in. You think about, what are the benefits of trying to cut it to a one-possession game coming out? And, it's an interesting argument to be made. But with that kickoff, Denmark will catch it inside his own 5 and come out for the return. Cutting back towards this near side, trying to keep his balance, but brought down right at about the 23-yard line. Commentator said 28, but he's inside the 25.
Pretty solid return by Denmark. I mean, you catch it inside the 5, it looked like. So you could have let it bounce, could have been risky. But, I mean, smart decision there. You get it right around the 25, so not a bad starting point.
For Roman Catholic from their own 23-yard line.
Yep, 23-yard line announced as the official spot here. So let's see what halftime adjustments were made by Coach Rick Preet and his offense, led by Samaj Beals. And the first play is a handoff to Robertson towards this near side. Gain of about 1.
Yeah, gain of a couple, but it really felt like it should have been more. He bounced off a tackle, made a guy miss, and even fell forward. You're doing all that for a gain of 1 yard. That's just tough to see. I don't think I've seen this Roman offense in that initial set that they were in to start the game where you had the 3 receivers bunched on either side of the field. Interested to see if they go back to that at all because the first few plays were really successful for them.
Clock is ticking, 11:15 and counting here. Again, Roman down 2 scores, 10-0.
Got to get the snap off, 2 seconds.
2 seconds, 1. Do they get it off just in time? No, they'll whistle it dead.
Timeout taken. So I guess they just barely got that timeout in because it did hit 0. I thought it was going to be a quick whistle from the officials because sometimes we've seen where it hits 0, you give them an extra second or 2, and then the delay of game is called. That's when I'm screaming at my TV, call the delay of game. But that time, the Roman sideline gets a timeout.
And the officials always say they look at the 0, they look at the ball. If it's snapped at that point, they let it go. And from all indications, it kind of looked like they were going to let it go.
That's what I was thinking.
Again, with the timeout being called so close to 0, you have no idea whether they would or not. Again, for Roman, they're down. Do you take a timeout this early, or do you take the penalty? It's an argument to be made for either side, but now going through the basically entire third and fourth quarters with only 2 timeouts. Robertson trying to find some room up the middle, maybe another yard, and it brings up a long 3rd down.
I like your point that you were saying, do they take the timeout or do you just kind of let it, you just take the 5 yards?
Take the 5 yards, yeah. I mean, it's a tough call.
To burn a timeout 2 minutes into the second half, that's not what you want to do. That's just killer. I mean, you don't want that. That's going to come in handy if it comes to a close game. Obviously, again, hindsight's 20/20. Maybe you take the 5 yards.
So it is 3rd and about 6. Fakes the handoff, throws to the outside. Ball looks to be tipped, but it is caught by Denmark, short of the line to gain. Looks like he may have even lost a yard. Brings up a long 4th down, and the Cahillites of Roman Catholic will punt.
Yeah, Colin McHugh just sniffed that out from the get-go, knew exactly what was going to happen. Kind of, he had the pass rush, but he did slow down, try and jump up and he just bat the ball down. Did a pretty decent job. It looked like he got a fingertip on it. But again, just the same offense from Roman Catholic, struggling a quick 3 and out.
4th and 7 now. Here goes Denmark, looks for room, doesn't see much, so he will kick it, and a favorable bounce for Roman Catholic. Down at the 45-yard line, and the Friar offense will come out.
It was a line drive of a punt. Nearly caught a few guys in the face mask.
And I wonder if that's the call. Take it, have Denmark take it, run to his left or right, whatever he's most comfortable with, and if he sees a gap, go for it. Maybe, 4th and 7, you need to make sure you see all 7 yards, and if he doesn't see it, he's athletic enough to boot it down the field. Looks like that's kind of the scheme here for Roman.
Yeah, and Malvern learned after the first 4th down fake punt conversion. They got guys following Denmark the entire way. They're shedding blocks. They are not letting him take that for extra yards. They'd much rather just be pinned back.
Skylar Smith is your starter. Look at this little trickery as he throws it back to Christopher Smith, but sniffed out immediately and tackled there by Jordan Montgomery. Number 15 comes up and tackles Smith.
Yeah, intended receiver would have been Zayd Smith-Johnson. Was open for a second, but Richard Mosley, the DB, stayed with him pretty much the entire time, and the only time that he got open was really far too late to throw the ball.
Loss of 8.
2nd and 18.
2nd and 18. Smith fakes the handoff to Nash. He'll take it himself. And tackled there again. The big D lineman, combination of Montgomery wearing number 15 with Lyons as well wearing number 12. Those guys got to him very quickly, and it brings up a long 3rd down.
Looked like even Patterson Jr. was back there as well. Very surprised by the Prep's initial play call, the halfback toss pass, and now you're a 3rd and a quarter mile.
Smith looks to his left, rolling that way, fires across his body in the direction of Chris Lake. Incomplete. And Roman Catholic comes up with the big stop, and they will get the ball back.
Yeah, the official there had a better chance of catching that ball and just waving it dead. Just pretty solid defense, bounce-back defense, I should say, by Roman Catholic. Just denying everything after going 3 and out. So it's just a battle of the 3 and outs here. Who can get the first down in the second half?
Jack Plaze will punt.
Denmark.
Again, high snap last time they punted. This time it was good enough for him. And Denmark going backwards makes the catch and now finds some running room up that far sideline. See where they mark him out. Looks like at the 31-yard line. Good return. Dangerous return, I should add, by Denmark.
Oh, my goodness.
But he makes it worth his while.
He's just slippery. He ends up at around the 31. He could have been right around the 21. I memean, he just splits 2 defenders and just ends up out of bounds. But he even caught the punt like he was catching a pass from his quarterback. So, truthfully, just a few underrated athletic plays tonight from Denmark. I'm just loving what I'm seeing from him. You may be down, you haven't scored a point yet, but he's had some very, very good plays.
Flag thrown on the first play, and it's a false start. It's a false start on Roman, and again, another penalty hurting the Cahillites, and that's kind of been the story so far in this game. It's been more self-inflicted wounds than anything else for Roman.
It's almost always on a 1st and 10, a 2nd and 10. It's never when you get a few yards. So even if you get the penalty, it's maybe like a 2nd and 8, 1st and 8. You know what I mean? It always comes on the initial play, that first, second down, when you're already backed up. Now it's a 1st and 15.
Yep, 1st and 15. A majority of their third downs have been long yardages as well. Here's a little trickery as Robertson took it, then immediately handed it off to Denmark, but he doesn't pick up much. If anything, looks like he lost 2 yards. Jake Bauer, number 29, with the tackle, but a timeout on the field as, Colin McHugh, number 40, is down in some pain.
Yeah, one of your leaders on the defensive side of the ball. That just hurts to see for the Prep. I think he was in on that tackle as well, but it looked like Denmark had a decent hole, and then Bauer just shoots out of nowhere and gets the tackle. So a very good defensive play, and really hoping that McHugh is okay. He's had a fantastic game so far.
Gets up, walks off on his own power, little limp. We'll see. I'm sure he'll be back in just a couple plays.
He doesn't strike me as one to
no.
to worry
exactly
about an
injury.
injury.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, he does not. So again, another lack of positive yardage there from Roman on that previous play, so brings up a long 2nd down. Looks like 2nd and about 16. Haven't seen many throws attempted down the field.
Exactly what I was going to say. Reading my mind over here.
And as we say that, look at Beals fire and almost picked off again. Bobby Mears across the middle of the field trying to get a hand on it and just unable to control it. Again, another look over the middle of the field from Beals and almost a 2nd interception.
Mears was looking for a SportsCenter top 10 play, a one-handed interception over the middle. I mean, he got a big left hand on that, just couldn't bring it down. But a great play and a better read by him. These Prep linebackers have been reading the eyes of Beals all night and have done a great job every single time.
3rd and 17. McHugh running at him. It's going to be a screen to this near side. It's Robertson trying to pick up yards, and he's eventually brought down at about the 35-yard line by Bobby Mears, and Roman will punt.
Some pretty solid blocking, I will say, by I think it was Mosley and Woodley out there, but when you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, you can only get so many yards. So to get right around nearly 10 yards there, that's not bad. If you hope to break it for more, I mean, that only happens once or twice a game. Can't happen there, but solid play just helps out Denmark even more, who could try and take it for a 1st down. You never know.
Right. 4th and 7 last time. Looks similar here as this time Denmark gets all foot on the ball there as sends it down inside the 25-yard line. Good punt from Denmark.
That was a beauty of a punt.
Yeah, last time he must have chipped it or shanked it a little bit. This time he made good contact and pins Malvern Prep deep in their own territory. Roman's defense looking good already in this 2nd half. We'll see what they can continue to bring, maybe some pressure on Skylar Smith, who hasn't ran the ball as much as I thought he may have. Again, he's really been a dual-threat quarterback, and running the ball, those RPOs to pull it back out of his running back's belly is something that, he's had some success doing so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, you want to protect your guy when he hurt his hand last week, but he's had so much success running the ball even tonight.
Nash again up the middle. No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
And I reiterate, who will be the first team to get a 1st down in this 2nd half? Still have not seen one with about 6:28, and just both defenses really stepping up out of the break.
They announced 2nd and 9. I don't think he got a full yard there, but clock is ticking nonetheless, under 6:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Every defensive stand here from Roman is a big one as their offense still struggles to put up points. And a stoppage here.
Looks like he's limping as he's running off the field.
Yeah, not sure exactly what the circumstance was. It almost looked like on the far side of the field, Roman head coach, Coach Preet, was given some form of a signal to his guys. So maybe they tipped the play or saw something from film. Meanwhile, here's Smith backing up, throwing across the field, and trying to connect with Falkenstein, but just a little bit underthrown as he had to try to come back. A dangerous throw, but it's incomplete, brings up third down.
I like the idea there, the play action from the shotgun, but run it to the other side. Your quarterback's a righty. If he's moving towards the left side, he's going to make a cross-body throw, twist his entire body. Very minimal chance that it's an accurate ball. Under pressure there as well. I think if you just flip that and go to the right side, it's a much cleaner ball, and Smith feels just much more confident in it as well. Waiting on something.
Yep, one-on-one coverage at the top of your zone, Falkenstein. This time it's a fake. Smith will take it and immediately tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made by number 71.
It's big number 71 for Roman.
And that is Rakeem Redding Rafiel, just barely hanging on to Smith. I thought he was going to break out of that. We've seen him break out a few earlier on, but a great block shed by Rakeem just to bring him down and force another punt, and still no first downs.
Still no first downs. I was just going to allude to that. Rakeem Rafiel has a sack already on this year, so a big presence up front for Roman's defense. This time, Plaze sends it deep, and Denmark has to go back all the way to about the 25-yard line, but he finds some running room and takes it up to about the 40 with 5:01 on the clock, and a penalty marker is thrown. Looked like some additional pushing and shoving after the play. We'll see who gets the penalty.
I don't agree with that. This seems like it's going to be on the Roman Catholic side. Number 49 of Malvern Prep kind of drew it. It's Kevin Keener, and honestly, I got to say, he seemed like he was being a bit aggressive when he was walking off, because you see Denmark down on the field now. Keener, when he was getting up, he went over the top of Denmark. I'm not saying anything, but I mean, the way he got up, he could have went around him. He got up a bit aggressively when he tackled Denmark, and Denmark being down on the field right now is just a bit interesting.
Yeah, the referees are discussing it to see exactly, maybe they pick up the flag. Maybe they just all, offer their opinions what they saw. Of course, head coach of Roman, Rick Preet, with some, make sure he knows his side of things,
Looked like he was motioning with his right foot, kind of like a stomping motion, saying that Keener was stepping on my guy as he was getting up. Because truthfully, I don't know what other kind of response would have drew that, because you see a few players from Roman kind of shoving him. So just interesting all around, and probably a much-needed long discussion.
Well, penalty aside, Luke, both defenses have been outstanding already halfway through this third quarter here. As you mentioned multiple times, no first downs yet. And, for Malvern Prep, up 10, two-possession game, they're going to continue to do their thing. But Roman, they have to find a way to work their way down the field. The penalty does look like it's going to be called.
Oh, yeah, they're calling it
on Malvern, yeah. No, they motioned to Roman, and now the official's carrying the ball back. I guess that was the original line of scrimmage, and he has to officially. The yardage, I don't know, a little confused there.
I'm going to assume it's offsetting, because it looked like he walked up about 15 yards to where an unnecessary roughness personal foul would have been called on Malvern, and then he walks back again 15 yards to the original spot that Denmark was tackled at.
I'll take it.
I'm going to go with that.
Sounds good
the
to me.
officials don't have microphones, so you're just going to trust me.
So it's the beauty of Friday Night Lights, high school football. 5:01 on the clock. Roman still trying to find a way down the field, punch one in, make this a much closer ball game. Again, had that opportunity with the waning seconds of the first half. Defense for Malvern Prep stood tall. Roman had a first and goal inside the 5, unable to score.
We still just can't get set here. It looks like the official's trying to explain it to everybody what's going on. But
I think that's exactly what happened, because he was over talking to Roman's side and now back over to Dave Guerrera on the Malvern side. And Looks like we are finally ready to go. There's the whistle, and we are set. So,
Thank goodness.
Beals in the shotgun, Howell behind him, and it is a handoff to Howell, running to the outside, picking up yards, gets to the 45 and met and pushed out of bounds there. Smith Johnson, number 23 for Malvern, shoving him out.
One of the few times that we've seen a running back bounce it outside, and it worked for him. A lot of times, we talked about it earlier, when you try and bounce it outside and go horizontally, usually get tackled pretty quick and lose a few yards. But Hal doing a really good job there, reading his blockers, noticing where he can find a hole and just get out of bounds.
And positive yardage on first down.
Yes.
A manageable second down, 2nd and 2 for Roman. Something they haven't seen too often already tonight. It does nothing but help, and you need 2 yards, you throw it out, and almost tiptoeing to stay in bounds there is Denmark, but he picks up first down with the 2 yards and a whole lot more after that. And Roman again tries to pick up this pace.
Playing a bit too conservative there. It looked like it was McGuire, just about 10 yards off of Denmark. When it's a 2nd and 2, you might as well give it to him.
RPO this time sticks with Howell, and he runs up the middle for a gain of 2.
Another long read from Samaj Beals there. Just thinking about, am I going to keep it? Am I going to throw it? No, I'm going to hand it off. So every now and then it's okay, but you would really like just a consistent, quick RPO, quick decision making.
2nd and 8. 4:10 on the clock. Here's another handoff to Hal. Positive yards again. Pickup of about 3 or 4. We'll see where they mark it. A penalty flag is thrown.
There's another flag on the play.
What'd you see there, Luke?
It looked like it was Austin Ramsey kind of drove his man into the ground. I can't make out who it was, the near side defensive end with his jersey all the way up. It may be McHugh now that I'm looking at it, but he kind of had him on the ground, drove him down, and as he was getting up, he kind of pushed off of him, so just that extra shove into the ground.
And
it is McHugh.
Yep, and that's what you see there.
But that is just
personal foul on the offense.
But that is just not what you want. We just talked about how you had a 2nd and short for the first time in what feels like the entire game, and you could have had another 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he picked up about 3 on that previous run.
Yes.
Yep.
So you lose a down and just about 15 yards. So it's 3rd and about 20 now, just like that. So just you can't have that. It was committed Austin Ramsey as well, the Kentucky commit. You just can't have it. It's a simple.
Yeah, again, it's another case of Roman hurting themselves tonight. Look out, this receiver on the near side looks like he's lined up over the ball. Well, they won't say anything, but Beals tackled, almost tackled, I should say, as McHugh is back there in the backfield causing some pressure again and brings up a long 4th down, and Roman unfortunately forced to punt yet again. Not much on the table for options here for them. They have to send it and try to pin Malvern back deep inside their own territory.
Just another massive drive killer with 3:36 in this 3rd quarter. You're past your own 50. You have Denmark back there who can run. Yes, it's about a 4th and half a mile now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take off, make a few guys miss, pick up a first down. Could be a major momentum swing.
Denmark again running to his left. Hill, little drop kick there and calling for the fair catch at the 15-yard line. Is Pellicciota back there for the Friars, and the Malvern Prep offense will take the field. 3:28 on the game clock.
Yeah, this Prep offense would love a long sustaining drive heading into the 4th quarter, and they can milk some of that clock in the 4th quarter as well. They get it across the 50 in the field goal range. They are, I would assume, more than inclined to just keep running the ball, trust your field goal kicker, at least come away with 3, and really just put the pressure on Roman even more than they already have.
First and 10. Smith hands off to Nash to this near side, and a good tackle there.
Tackle made by number 15,
Jordan Montgomery, the senior, in on the tackle. Gain of
Gain of about 1.
Maybe 1 is announced here, and it brings up 2nd and 9 for the Friars.
Yeah, Nash stays in bounds as well. I'm not sure. It may be a bit too early to tell your guys, hey, stay in bounds, just chew that clock, but never a bad thing just staying in bounds, just taking the more time down, being up 2 scores and all.
Nash again going to his left and picking up about 5, brings up a 3rd and manageable now. Again, where is that first down going to come from, Luke? And this is the shortest 3rd down we've seen so far in this 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and about 5.
3rd and about 4.
Bit surprised. Feel like we haven't called Jameel Lyons' name in a good bit, especially on the defensive side. I wonder if he can come up with a big play here.
Yep, correction. It's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 is the official down here, and we have whistles blown, penalty marker. And it's a false start, backs Malvern up.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Just back and forth, just silly mistakes by either side, costing them.
Remains 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and about 10 now. 3rd and 10. We'll see what Roman's defense cooks up. Maybe they bring some pressure. But again, love the versatility of what Skylar Smith can do, the creativity on offense. We saw the 1 play action earlier. Of course, a ton of RPO action so far. But, you know, of course, the penalty backs them up. It's still a very manageable 3rd down. And they'd love to get one here and just keep this clock running, keep the ball out of Roman's hands. Now under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Smith fakes the throws, got a man wide open. He's got him on the far sideline. All the way down inside the 40. Roman Vernisi had 1 catch last game and another one here. A big gainer for a 1st down.
Vernisi, they faked the guy on the outside, kind of popped out just for a hitch, and Vernisi, his man loses him wide open. A great ball fake by Skylar Smith, and just an even more beautiful throw. Man, that's exactly what they needed. What I feel like is their 2nd big play of the game.
Vernisi only 1 catch last game for 24 yards. It was a big one then. It's another big one now. Hand off to Nash. Up the middle he goes, and he picks up about 1. But a beautiful throw on that play as well by Smith. He had to fake the pass to the sideline almost for the bubble screen to have the cornerbacks bite just a second just to plant their feet, and then Vernisi, of course, with the speed on the outside, hits him in stride, and now Malvern works their way into Roman territory.
Yeah, the corners tried to jump it, tried to get an easy pick 6, but just, wow, he was so open. No one within just about 10, 15 yards of him.
This time Smith rolling to his right, throws to Nash. Pickup of about 2. Brings up 3rd and 6.
That's what I like to see. That's what I was talking about a few possessions ago, where they had a play action and they rolled out to the left side. This time you go to the right side. You don't get much on the completion, but there was nothing really else open. And if you tried to run it, you would have gotten the same amount of yardage. So just a good idea by Skylar Smith, and it really just sets up a more manageable 3rd down.
So 10 seconds and counting on the game clock, 15 on the play clock. So Malvern will let this tick down to end the 3rd quarter. And as we saw that pass from Roman, caught by Roman Vernisi, Luke, that was our 1 and only 1st down so far in the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. So both defenses standing strong out of halftime, and an opportunity here for Malvern Prep to go up even more. It's a 2-possession game already, and Roman, their defense has been good, but they can't afford to give up too many more points.
Yeah, just some ridiculous defensive efforts by either side here, especially when both teams average right around 30 points a game. Malvern held to 10 points. Roman held to 0 points. And Roman's going to need another just fantastic stop from their defense here as Malvern is inching closer to that red zone.
Crowd getting into it here. 12 minutes. Reset back on the game clock as we enter the 4th quarter. Luke Nichols, Zach Demuse with you here. alongside the Malvern TV crew. Can't thank them enough for their help setting all this up for us tonight. And look out, bad snap again over Smith's head. And Roman, of course, there to jump on it, but it will be a false start. And again, this was third down. It was a 3rd and about 7 for Malvern. Another false start will put it at 3rd and 12.
And if anything, they may be lucky there was a false start there. That ball over the head of Smith, a lot of Roman defenders there. Could have been a loss of 6 or 7, even more. So maybe you're thankful for a penalty for the only time maybe ever.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So another opportunity here for Roman's defense to try to get off the field, give the ball back to the offense. Again, Roman offense averaging 36 points per game, and this Malvern defense holding them to 0 through 3 quarters. Unbelievable. This time it's Smith. He's going to carry himself on 3rd down and is gang tackled there at the 39 and brings up about 4th and 10.
Looked like Lyons was the first one to Smith, just not letting go of him. Smith very slippery as well, trying to break out of that tackle. But just a good job of the Roman defense, capitalizing on the mistakes of the Prep offense, and another punt situation.
Yep, Jack Plaze back to try to pin Roman deep.
Returning for Roman Catholic, number 5, Denmark.
Denmark back there. Snap is mishandled. Plaze just able to get it off. And Denmark allows it to go over his head. Bounce at the 5, and it's down to there. So a bounce in favor of Malvern Prep pins them down at the 5. And Roman's offense, who's been sputtering so far this game, isn't given much help with the spot here.
We are seeing the effect a good special teams unit can have on a team. Plaze has been fantastic tonight, and that punt, probably his best of the night. Nearly touched early by one of the Prep players and would have been down right around the 10, 12-yard line. Takes a few extra bounces and rolls and just stops on a dime right at the 5-yard line. So Roman, maybe their tallest task of the night with 11 minutes in the 4th quarter, starting at your own 5-yard line.
Yep, this is where you can't go back any further. It seems like every Roman drive we've seen, they've had penalties or loss of yardage. They can't afford much of that here. Fake the handoff there, and this time it's Robertson carrying up the middle. He took the direct snap and faked the handoff to Denmark, and he picks up a 1st down. The first down for Roman Catholic in this 2nd half, and a good start to this drive as Robertson is back to take the snap again. This time he'll hand it to Denmark to pick up about 2.
A great job by Bobby Mears, just recognizing that, noticing Denmark has the ball and just fighting off a block. Receiver didn't get hands on him very well, so just really fights off that, and only a gain of about 2. I'm liking this wildcat that I'm seeing from them, though. The first run with Robertson was very nice.
Yeah, triple option here. You have Robertson, Howell, and Denmark back there, all threats, and this time it goes to the only one who hasn't gotten it yet in Mail Howell.
Tackle made by number 4.
Looks like another gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and about 5.
Mears again on the tackle. Looked like he gave Howell a nice stick there. I saw Howell running and then just stopping his tracks at a point.
So very interesting here from Roman. Their quarterback still on the sideline for this entire drive. This time it's Robertson keeping it himself again and only picking up about 2, so it's another 4th down. 4th and shorter than what they've seen so far in this game. It looks like it's going to be 4th and 4. And no sign of Samaj Beals whatsoever on that drive. Is that curious to you? I mean, I understand your offense has been struggling, but the whole drive not to have him out there seemed a little bit odd.
Especially on that 3rd down, I feel like it was odd. The Wildcats, it's a fun formation. It's a good one to run.
And
First,
it worked.
2nd down,
Yeah.
It worked pretty well. But on 3rd down, I think you want your quarterback back there. You want your leader with the ball in his hands.
Look out, it's a fake. They're going to try to get it down the field, and it is caught.
Pass is
It is caught. Look at Denmark trying to connect with Figueroa on that far sideline. And Roman fakes the punt into Malvern Prep territory. And that's the spark they needed because Figueroa was not open by any stretch. Good coverage by Malvern Prep. Nothing they can do as you see Bobby Mears kind of shrugging his shoulders. What a gutsy call there, Luke.
What an unbelievable call. What an unbelievable ball from Denmark. My goodness, I'm thinking he may run this. He's throwing it, and just a great contested catch on the back of the defender.
Again, Robertson has it, pulled it out of Denmark, and he makes a cut up to about the 39 before getting pushed out of bounds. And don't look now, but with under 8:30 to go, Roman's offense is moving inside Malvern Prep territory on the 40-yard line now.
Just some ridiculous plays from Roman tonight. That fake punt completion for a first down may be the most ridiculous.
Unbelievable. This time Denmark will keep it himself, hit hard there. Yeah, I'm not sure if Denmark intended it or not, but he threw a beautiful back shoulder pass.
Yeah, I mean.
And Figueroa, goes up. He only has 2 receptions on the whole year, does Figueroa. He has 2 receptions for 17 yards and 2 carries for 16 yards. And they completely faked him out. He got into some space and beautiful pitch and catch, but a third down now, 3rd and 2. And now that they're on this side of the field, Luke, it seems like they're going to be going for it on most 4th down and manageable. So almost 2 plays to get 2 yards. And there's Hal tripped up. We'll see where they mark it. Ooh. Looks like they're going to give him 1 yard, so it brings up 4th and 1.
I think they could have been a bit generous on that spot.
I think so, too.
I thought he fell forward and got that ball past that first down marker as we have a player down on the near side or right around the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's Ennis Udo. You want to make sure he's okay. You haven't seen him targeted much on the offensive side, but you've definitely been able to feel his presence defensively.
This gives some time for the Roman offense to cook up something on this 4th and short. I'm a big quarterback sneak guy, but truthfully, I don't think we've seen Roman go under center once tonight.
And I see Beal's on the sideline, so he doesn't look injured. He's got his helmet. But just seems like right now, head coach Rick Preet is trusting in the trio of Robertson, Howe, and Denmark lined up. And as we've seen so far this drive, any one of them can get it. And, I know it wasn't on a specific play, but Denmark showed off his arm on the fake punt, so if he needs to throw it, we know he can do that as well.
Robertson's had the best runs when in the Wildcat. I would have to think he's going to keep this himself and just go straight forward.
Howe and Robertson in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Howe. He picks up the first down and a lot more. Down to about the 31-yard line. But again, we're in the 4th quarter, 6 minutes, 50 seconds ticking down. They don't have too much time. And remember, they took a timeout the second play of this second half with less than 2 minutes to go. So they're only working with 2 timeouts. Same look, Robertson and Howe in the backfield. Same play with Howe carrying it and picks up about a gain of 4.
This offensive line of Roman is really coming alive right now, just enforcing their will on this Malvern Prep D-line, as it looks like we have an offensive lineman down for Roman Catholic. I believe it is Khalil Stewart on the ground right now. But
number 53,
yes. That is Khalil Stewart. He's getting stretched out, maybe a cramp. But, offensive line has played very well this entire drive, but running the ball is taking up some more time than you would like for Roman, trying to fight back in this one, down 2 scores. Still a bit surprised we don't see Beals out there maybe trying to air the ball out a bit.
They took the field goal before halftime. This might be a different situation.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Football is a beautiful game.
It's
a beautiful game. You've
Stewart.
Well, Stewart up off the field on his own power. All kidding aside, though, this is the first game that it's cold. We're up here. It's less than 55 degrees up here on the field. It can't be much warmer. And last week we were all in T-shirts and shorts. So the quick jump over to this weather, definitely affects A little bit of everything here. As look out, as a stop-and-go pattern now into the end zone, and a flag is thrown. It's going to be pass interference in the end zone. Robertson chucked it down there, trying to connect with Trey Woodley on the stop-and-go pattern. Good call. And there's your attempt to air it out, and they move the ball downfield on the penalty.
Yeah, I believe this is going to be 15 yards on the defensive pass interference. It's not on the spot like it is in the NFL. But my goodness, where did that arm come from for Jameer Robertson? That was a perfect ball. Lofted it in the air, perfect spiral. A lefty as well. I mean, really just throwing me for a loop on all aspects of that play. I see why they're comfortable having Robertson back there as the lead man in this Wildcat. That was just an unbelievable pass.
Defensive pass interference.
And in great play design. Again, you know, like that stop and go. The whole secondary, everybody else was kind of frozen. And the next thing you know, there goes Woodley towards the end zone. Again, beautiful throw by Robertson. Just caught Malvern off guard. This defense hasn't given up much so far in this game, if anything, and Roman has to be creative on working their way down. Penalty flag thrown as Robertson is tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Again, that two-man set back there, trying to catch Malvern off guard.
We should have known. The head official already kind of signaling for a holding. I imagine it is on Roman Catholic. We should have known. They go one step forward. Here come the 2 steps backwards, or in a more literal sense, 10 steps backwards.
Yep. That's what hurts. They got the pass interference for 15, and then they just took 10 back of that 15 themselves. And 5:49 on the game clock in this fourth quarter. And Beal's still not out there. Their starting quarterback still on the bench. And it's this two-man look, Robertson and Howell, that Roman's been trusting. Robertson going to look to throw. Men converging on him, and it's almost picked. Oh, it's almost picked. Colin McHugh saw it and almost was on his way towards the other end zone. Just unable to hold on, and it brings up a long second down.
Maybe not the nail in the coffin if he picks that off, but definitely would have started the hammering of the nail in the coffin there. Just dropped it, and Robertson, his receivers were all covered, all strapped up, so just a really tough read for someone who isn't a quarterback to try and task him with. And we see Beals now back out there finally realizing that they need to start airing the ball out.
Yep, it's second and long as immediately as Beals is out there, they trust his arm. The pass is tipped, and that one's almost picked as well as in and out of the arms of number 4, Bobby Mears. So back-to-back plays, the Friars have dropped interceptions, and Roman stays alive.
I mean, that ball was in the breadbasket of Mears. It was begging to be intercepted. Man, just Roman Catholic getting some lucky breaks here.
Getting lucky, for sure.
Back-to-back plays would have been big-time interceptions, most likely returned past the 50 at least, in my mind.
Third and long, the first down marker down at the 4. And they're on the 28. Hitch to the outside. There's Denmark spinning away. And a gain of about 5 there. Hayden Pegg there with the tackle. Fourth down at the 24-yard line.
Denmark just doing all that he can on that short 5-yard out. And sometimes you're going to get brought down. This Malvern Prep defense has been just so good. And the biggest play of the night for either side.
4th and 21 is officially announced here. Roman figures if they don't get the first down, at least get closer to it to pin Malvern closer to their own goal line. We'll see. 5 seconds on the play clock. And we have a penalty, encroachment on the defense.
Wow. I mean, it's 5 yards, but that's the 5 yards they needed.
4th and 21 to 4th and 16 now. So a little bit closer. Again, the first down marker on the 4-yard line.
I was going to mention, you don't even think about we got to go for a first down. You might as well think we got to go for a touchdown.
Yep.
It's right there.
Yep. So they go 4 wide. They bring Woodley back to the near side. Trip receivers on the near side. Only Denmark up top. Beals evades the pressure, looks towards the end zone, and broken up. Number 1, Chris Lake gets it out of Watson's hands. And it's a turnover on downs. It's first down Malvern, and with 4:04 on the clock, Roman still with a 0 on that scoreboard.
Looked like Prep was just in the zone defense and let your big-time players make big-time plays. Chris Lake, just right place, right time, and a great pass deflection. Didn't try and pick it off, just swat the ball down, retain possession, and with 4 minutes left on the clock, up by 2 scores, it's looking good for the Prep.
Yeah, this is now at the point where Roman can't allow any more points. It's a 2-possession game. So whether they get a first down or not, they can't score any more points if you're the Cahillites and you can possibly see a comeback. We'll see. Give off to Nash again now. Under 4 minutes, 3:50. Of course, you take a look at Malvern Prep. They're going to keep giving it to Nash and attempting to run the ball, getting this clock to tick down.
We haven't seen it much tonight, but Malvern Prep, number 21, I believe it's Alex Guerrera as the H-back, kind of just that, somewhat of a fullback, that lead blocker on most run plays. Maybe not giving it away entirely that it's a run play, but a very good indication that it is.
Fakes the run, gives off to Falkenstein across the 30-yard line. And it's enough for a first down.
I stand corrected. You're going with a nice
tricked you
quick
too,
curl.
Luke.
Yeah, hey, look at me. Don't let me be the defensive coordinator. So you get Falk just on a quick curl route, and he stays in bounds as well. Just smart football from him.
Yeah, Skylar Smith has tried to connect with Falkenstein many times tonight. Able to do so for a first down there. 2:50 and counting.
You got the big play clock right in front of you outside of the end zone. 8 seconds on it. You can read that and just take it all the way down to 1.
Hand off to Nash, running to the left side.
Behind his offensive line.
Samir Thompson-Dean, number 58 on the tackle there for Roman. 10 tackles for number 58 last week for Roman.
Solid run from Nash there. Just going right up the gut. Didn't try and do anything extra or fancy. Kept 2 hands on the ball as well.
Picked up 6. Two minutes now. 2 minutes to go. Nash again, left side, tackled. Yard short of the first down, brings up 3rd and 1. And a timeout called by Roman Catholic, their second of the half.
I was going to say 2 minutes is usually the indication. If you're down, don't have the ball, this is when you start calling the timeouts. Just try and get some stoppages, especially on a big 3rd down and 1 right here.
Yep. I don't think Malvern, if they were to be stopped, I don't think they'd consider going for it on their own side of the field when
Absolutely
Roman
not.
is chasing points. So this is it for Roman, and you better believe the coaching staff is making sure they know that as well. A stop here means we probably get the ball back, but it's only 1 yard. It's 3rd and 1, and Nash has been able to kind of run anywhere he's wanted to tonight.
Yeah, I think if you're the Roman head coach, you're aware this is really the last stand. And look at Malvern Prep. They're already out there. No huddle needed. They're down and ready to go.
They're ready.
Receivers, or not receivers, the officials haven't blown the whistle, so Roman does have some time.
3rd and 1. Direct snap to Nash. Left side. He gets it. No question about it. And finally brought down there by Michael Preston on the outside. But a first down. Roman continues to allow the clock to tick. Again, they only have 1 timeout left. 1:36 now, and this is where Roman's defense needs to stand strong if they want a chance to get this ball back.
Yeah, Malvern can get this right around a minute left if they play the clock right, and it doesn't seem like Roman is inclined to use that timeout.
1st and 10, handoff. Guess who?
Yadir Nash.
Yadir Nash, but the official doesn't move vertically up the field, so it's no gain. Maybe gain a half a yard there, and it brings up a long 2nd down. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds and counting.
If Roman hasn't used this timeout by now, Malvern can almost just take a few knees, the victory formation, and then if 4th down comes up, you just have your punter run around in the backfield for those last few seconds, just maybe fall down. You're up by 2 scores, so even if you run out of the back of the end zone, give up a safety, no harm, no foul. But we have a penalty marker on the field. The body language of Roman Catholic is telling me this looks like some form of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. And any hope of holding them here on 4th down kind of goes out the window there, as this will give the Friars a brand new set of downs, and 32 seconds on the game clock, 40 on the play clock. So all indications look like this is going to be victory formation. Smith under center takes the knee.
And that will do it.
And Roman will not call that final timeout, and they will make their way
away from Roman Catholic. Really bad way to end it on the unsportsmanlike conduct. But overall, just a fantastic game for either side. Malvern Prep just a bit better. If I had to give out one player of the game, I think I'm going Colin McHugh. Was just all over the field tonight. If I had to do a runner-up, though, I think I'm going the punter for Malvern Prep. I believe it's number 18, Jack Plose. He was just phenomenal for them. Really
all
just pinning back Roman Catholic every single chance.
Well, Malvern Prep, this is their 2nd time holding their opponent 2-0. The first game of the season, they beat LaSalle 35-0 and came back next week and only allowed Wood to score 3, so nothing new for the defense. But both teams move on, may see each other again, who knows? But for all of us here at Malvern Prep, we will be signing off. For the entire Malvern Prep TV staff, all your different camera operators, producers, audio technicians, we thank them. For my color commentator, Luke Nichols, my name is Zach Demuse. Malvern Prep Friars win this one 10-0. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We are live from Malvern Prep High School, signing off.